Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. A man who missed all of 2021, this is J.K. Dobbins. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's able to take this up to the 30-yard line.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Ravens at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. This defense for the Dolphins, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
You know, when we call it a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed, his elusiveness, and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
A couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. From the gun, Jackson. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 38, Jackson. And this will be incomplete.
Nice play on the football, and while it was tipped in the air and made everyone a little bit anxious before falling to the ground, you just know defensive players are taught to knock the ball to the ground. But early in games, emotions come into play, nerves come into play, and despite the training, the ball was tipped up. Fortunately for them, they didn't pay for that error.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And the Ravens strike first and 3's him. Well, when they began that opening drive, they didn't have the best field position, but they were able to move the ball enough, Charles, to just get in his range to take the 3-0 advantage.
Absolutely, because considering where they began that series, I think they're pretty happy to be sitting at 3-zip right now.
Noah Igbenogany from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
First carry for Raheem Mostert. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit. But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down, here's Mostert again. And he's got room. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. Now it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The end result, 21 yards.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion. Oh, really good pickup.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Jackson now. That's into the hands of Prochet. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a first and goal.
They'll run with Dobbins. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
Second down and goal. Jackson. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. Tried to get it that time to James Crochet. But now it's third and goal.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Third and goal, Jackson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Igbenogany going to take it out of the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again. Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. In motion, Hill. Second down, here's Mostert again. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
We've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known that points won't come so easy again.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Jerome Baker. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. 2nd down, here's Mostert again. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. Worried about giving up the big one.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach is talking.
He's got a man complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. To throw again is Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 23.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Here we go. Watch out now. 52.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's got some space here. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Tua sets up to pass it. On the right side, open is Gesicki. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Okay, ready?
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Here's Tua. And going deep for Hill. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field and then wham. You have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
Slot man moves right. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 228 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Mostert is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Gaskin is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but eventually they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
The kick by Sanders is good, and they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. It's a room to maneuver. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
On the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6 is an astronomical.
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Igbenogany going to take it out of the end zone. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Tua going for the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
But we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
Out of the gun on third down. Here's Tua. Gonna look deep for Wilson. They've got his man complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Now that one hurts defensively. They forced him into third and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Now their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. And he'll get it inside the 35. We have played 3 quarters.
On the double.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Once again, it's Mostert. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 139 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
When you can count on one hand the number of completions you've had in a game and we're in the second half, that tells you it's really not been your day.
Yeah, but you're losing. You can't just abandon the passing game altogether.
Yeah, maybe you can get hot, string a few together, and get rolling.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. But give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
So with less than a minute gone by here in this 4th quarter, the field goal there gets this thing back to either.
And it's setting up for a fantastic finish, isn't it, partner? It's been a well-played game, a hard-hitting game. The fans are into it. The announcers are into it. This is going to be a great 4th quarter.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Jackson. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a 2nd down in just a couple.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 41 yards.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
Dobbins. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. Dobbins once more, but he will lose yardage here. Back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball 3rd time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. Tucker with the extra point. They will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Igbenogany going to take it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, it's Tua. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete on the deep ball. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Now Tua. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Odafe Oweh showing off the pass rush skills. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Mostert. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Fitting for what's been a tight ball game. We're all even at 20 now as the kick's away.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there?
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his home. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Jackson to throw. Able to locate Andrews here on the out route. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. 3 yards remain for 2nd down. Here's Jackson. He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. And they get the timeout called here. It comes with 1 second remaining on the clock. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And he got it. Justin Tucker boots it through.